FA. I hear that. That's a cool comment. Where's that comment about Benatia? I hope we don't sign Benatia. It's going to be embarrassing if he fails. By that logic, we shouldn't sign a single player, bro. Don't care who they sign apart from Liverpool. I believe we can beat any other team on our day. Arteta Press FC. I don't know. Anyone can beat anyone in this Prem, but it's for us. We need to show it. And again, our record against the top six is meaty, bro. You would have thought we beat City at the Emirates. And don't get twisted. There was a lot to like about the performance. But like life is harsh, bro. Life don't matter if you're a good person or playing well. Did you get the result or not? We dropped points from a winning position. Again, I don't know about that. Let's go Palace stuff. Arsenal going to trash them tonight. I hope so. United and Chelsea United to lose to Brighton and Everton. I hope so. I hope so. I hope the Ops lose every game, really and truly, as they hope for us. Let's get the likes up to 200 people and subscribe. We're to 50,000. Also follow on Twitch. Big up South London's finest. My guy, I appreciate that. Really do. Where are we at in terms of likes? You know what? 139 likes. Keep running that up. What I do want to do, though, I haven't seen, I was about to say Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta's press conference, people. And I would like to see that. Trust, I don't care about that on our day shit, man. Like, we need more days in it. On our day, we can. Football's a funny game. Two of our best results of the season against Crystal Palace and United, regardless of what happened in the game, going into the games, you couldn't see us doing that without Partey, Tierney, and obviously Tomiyasu. Sometimes we've lost games we're supposed to win with all of them, so can't really read too much into them things there. But I want to see Mikel Arteta's press conference and what he has or hasn't said, people. So I'm going to look at that now, man. London is blue. Wow. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Trolling's going wrong, my guy. London can be blue, red, whatever it wants. I don't know you. You don't know me. I always say I don't tell you what to think. Just think. If that's what you feel, do your thing, my guy. All right. Anyways, moving away from that. Patrick Vieira said, I think they're in a better place than last year. The new players they've brought in, they are much stronger. They have the squad to challenge and be closer to the title. Thanks for gassing us up, but chill out a bit there, bro. Mikel Arteta on Palace, injuries, transfers, and more, people. On how different this game is to last season's, well, it is different. Obviously, everything that happened before that game was pretty strange and unique. The preparation, the preseason that we had, it was a different context. We are really excited, and Arteta makes a big song and dance about preseason. You've had, by Arsenal standards, an excellent one. I don't want to hear excuses. This ain't me trying to catch you out. This is, if you say things, I have to hold you account. We are really excited. We are really looking forward to the new season. We will try to start in the best possible way, and this is how we have focused our preparation. Hit the like button, people. On whether it feels like his team now, it's always been my team because these are our players, and always we have had the intention to get the best out of them. It's true that obviously we have trimmed the squad and changed the squad massively in the last two windows, especially, and you feel that now players we have are more specific and better for the way we want to play, basically. That's true. On the expectations of Jesus, when you bring top players, they are coming from top clubs. They have been extremely successful over the years. They're going to expect that. The role that Gabby has here is going to be very different to the role that he had at his previous club. Yeah, you're the guy now. You look around that City, you got Kevin, you got all these guys. You are the guy, sort of thing. That needs some adaptation and some time. He's done fantastically well, and he's an enormous talent, a player with mentality that is so contagious, and he's going to give us a lot, but it's a team contribution at the end of the day. On Palace, they showed last season how tough they are and how difficult they are to beat and how consistent they are at home as well. I think they've only they actually, I can't remember it, but I saw a statistic that they've conceded one goal at home or something like that. They've got a very good clean sheet record at home as well, so we couldn't break down low blocks or defensively switched on units. Now's your chance to now's a chance to move in the right direction, people. They had the result against us, and hopefully we learned a lot of lessons that day, especially the 30 minutes we had where we were nowhere near the standards that we needed, and we paid the price for it. On the excitement for the new season and new signings, I think we're all enthusiastic. We had the preseason that we all wanted. It was well organized. We had good results, good performances, good preparation. But now the ball starts to roll tomorrow evening in a completely different context against a Premier League team, and we know what to expect there. But it's true, we are with a level of energy and ambition to have a successful season, pardon me, and we have to show that on the pitch tomorrow night. When asked on whether there'll be new signings incoming, we are really active, as you can see, with incomings and outgoings. Everything is still open. It's a long window. A lot has happened. It's incredible how much business the clubs have done across the Premier League, and it shows how competitive it is. And this season is not going to stop that. Players are going to have the need to leave, some others to move on. Everything is still open. I feel like we've seen that already. On whether All or Nothing documentary release was a distraction, I can't lie, that is completely irrelevant from the game. So we've spoken about that. I've done my review. Go and check that out. I'm airing that. On injured players, 3 out of the 4 of those players in brackets, Tomiyasu, Smith Rowe, Tini, and Vieira, are going to be training this afternoon, which was yesterday. And if everything goes well, they'll be available for selection and in the squad. Hopefully, we can start to recover because they've been missing a lot of minutes and time in pre-season. They're really important players for us. I'm not going to waste time talking about the neating in the Prem. On the expectation around the club, it's great that people are excited, but there's a big excitement across the Premier League because a lot of clubs have done a lot of business, getting stronger and stronger. The competition is really big. We focus on what we can do, what we want to do, and we want to be at the top of the table. On the increased pressure on him as a manager, pressure is a privilege. You're a football manager. This is a once in a. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of scrutiny. There's a lot of fans can be a bit harsh, but pressure is a privilege. You know, you need to remember this is a job that, as much as it's that, this is a job that anyone would give their left arm and more for. To be one of these players is a privilege. You lose as much as it means the world, and I'm not trying to be blasé. You win a game, so what? You lose a game, so what? Get on with it the next day. Watching the pressure that I had last year after one game, I don't think it's going to be bigger than that. At the end of the day, people don't want to look at the context. They just look at the result. To a degree, you're right, but to a degree, that's all that matters is the result, blood. All that matters is the result in life and how we started. We're going to be judged on whether we win football matches or not. It's as simple as that. Football's a results-driven business. As you all know, Martin Odegaard has become the captain, people. This season, we had the opportunity to do it in the way that I believe could work. Martin has been with us for 18 months and, in my opinion, is a player who represents the values of this football club in a perfect way. He's well respected by everyone around the team. He's admired by all the staff. He has experience, even though he's 23. He has done it for the national team. He has a passion about the game that he promotes every single day around the club and the way he plays. So I'm really happy to have someone like him, and he's on board. He's enjoying that responsibility, and we need to support. But for sure, it's a huge thing for him. I think Odegaard's a bad boy footballer for us. I'd said it then, and I can't lie. Every now and again, I'm proving right about a couple of things. Told you about Pepe, Tavares, and Lacazette. Told you Odegaard would be 30 for us. Do you want to see him turn up in away games a bit more? Do you want to see him put his stamp on the team a bit more? Do you think he goes hiding in away games? I think he got 7 goals in the Premier League. I definitely think you're someone I'm looking at 10 goals, 10 assists minimum. I do think you could be an even greater creative hub for the team. And I do see him sooner rather than later moving into that 8 position and maybe sacrificing the link-up play with Saka and that, but giving the team greater impetus. And I do, he's a good presser as well, off the ball as well. So there's so much to like about Odegaard, but there's so much responsibility. There's expectation on you. There's expectation on the club. There's expectation on Arteta. People have been given captaincies. Pre-season has been perfect. Arteta makes a big song and dance. New contracts have been given. We missed out on top 4. It's a results-driven business. You can't have the sunshine and not the rain. We know sometimes, we all know there's vested agendas with Arsenal. There's positive toxic where people are just not being truthful. There's people that misery loves company, and with every win there's going to be that, with every loss there's going to be that, but many people don't have the mental capacity to consider all the variables. You lot can, because you're hearing it. But it is what it is, people. So it is what it is. Of course, there's still a leadership group. I mean, big up Arteta for overcoming heart surgery and stuff, but it's not relevant to this, people. It's the most excited he's been since he's been here. You try every day to be more excited and love your players more and feel more privileged of where you are. The more things you do that are related to the way you feel, and you share that feeling with the club like we do, then it comes to a common thing. At the end, it's not about me. It's about how we all feel about what we're doing. We all feel an integral part of it, especially our supporters. When we do that, I always say it becomes very, very powerful. That's true. On when he asked Guardiola to sign Jesus and Zinchenko, I cannot say how it was, but I can tell you that this works both ways, and both parties have to be happy to do that. He was telling me that it was 2 phenomenal people that he was losing. I know him, and I know how privileged we are to have them, and I'm really happy. On Bellerin and Leno, people, obviously he's bigged up Leno for his professionalism. I don't think he said anything that relates to Bellerin there. And to be honest, I don't really care about one away players. On setting a red card target, Brazy, yeah, we had way too many of them. I told you last time that it's better not to talk about it. Unless we talk about it, the better it comes. So hopefully we can achieve that. On Tini and Tomiyasu injuries, hopefully not in terms of long term. The reason they got those persistent injuries are for different reasons. Probably because we played them when they're barely fit, and they're both sick notes, really, as much as I love both of them. Big fan of Tomiyasu. Don't need to tell you how much I love Dini, really, innit? Probably because the squad didn't enable them to recover, and we don't play them when it was necessary, and it was too tired, and they weren't fully recovered. So sometimes we had to rush them. It was a combination of things with those two players. They're so pushy and willing to contribute with the team. We know that with those two fit and performing at their best, we are much stronger as a team. Fair enough. What's all of this, people? We scored 26 goals in pre-season. We lost 3-0 in April to Palace, people. We hope it's a different one, really and truly. As you know, they've signed Decore, who's done well at Lens. They brought in Malcolm Ibowe as well, former Arsenal man. Would love to, I'd love to win 3-1 and Malcolm to come and score their goal, people. Former Arsenal lad. Lovely to see him. He's not in the first team, but Luke Plange, you couldn't buy a game at youth level for Arsenal, went to Derby and has been sold to Palace as well. Chris Richards, half of them Rock Nation youths are shit. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Palace haven't had a good pre-season, so this is why you can't read too much, really and truly. There, it was a bare academy kids that played against United, and obviously it's been tricky with vaccination statuses and all of those sort of things, people. So yeah, man. Palace, Arteta said they showed us last season how tough they are, how difficult they are to beat, and how consistent they are at home as well, especially against the big teams when they got some great results. Then they had that result against us, and hopefully we learned a lot of lessons that day, especially the 30 minutes that we had where we were nowhere near the standards that we needed, and we paid the price for it. Vieira on us has said they had really good games during pre-season. I think they're in a better place than last year. The new players they brought in, they are much stronger. They have a squad to challenge and be closer to the title. We know that it's going to be challenging, but I believe that we have the tools to make it difficult for them, to make it challenging for them. Last year at home, with the support that we had some really good matches, and it'll be important to keep it that way. I hear that, really. So apparently Palace will be without Elise, MacArthur. They only have Guita to call upon. Sam Johnson struggling, as well as Jack Butland. Right, they got Sam Johnson and Butland. Guita should be third choice. Apparently Tompkins could miss out as well. Obviously, they've got their own reason to want to savage us because they're looking to win consecutive league games against us for the first time in their history. They ended the campaign unbeaten in 6 home league games, drawing 3 and winning 3, keeping a clean sheet in each of their last 5. They last had a longer home unbeaten run in the top flight between March and August 1992. So that's 3 years before I was born. They've never kept 6 consecutive home clean sheets in the division. None of our last 17 Premier League games has ended in a draw, which could show you that it's literally all or nothing. We've lost 6 and won 11. Only once have we had a longer run, which was in 2018. This is the 3rd consecutive season we are starting our Premier League campaign with a London derby. We beat Fulham in 2020-21. We obviously lost to Brentford last year. Palace have won their opening top flight league game in only 5 of their last previous 22 seasons, although they have won 2 of their last 4, people. Crazy. Gabriel Jesus has been involved in 7 goals in his last 7 league games. Hopefully he does that, and he could extend our record of having the most Brazilian goal scorers in the Premier League history, which currently stands at 11. Pussy old refs, not really with that. We have struggled. We've only won once at Palace from 4 victories. And if you remember, if this is the game Pepe second, you know how Pepe used to be the guy second half of the season. It was filled with drama. We got savage last year. So hopefully we do a thing. Shout out my guy Adrian Clark. It's always lovely to do the end of the season reviews with him, man. Very busy man. Doesn't have to give up his time to be on my channel. I appreciate that, man. What have you said? What's all of this sort of stuff? Arteta shares fans' excitement. Oh, we've seen this already. We saw this already. Everything we've seen. What's this? Because what's been said on Vieira? Oh, we've seen that. What's Odegaard said about the captaincy thing? All right, this is long, bro. Obviously, I'm not going to read him trying to convince Haaland to join us on what he took from the last 2 meetings with Palace. I think we learned a lot. I think that's what it looks. That's what it's like playing in the Premier League. Every game is tough. Every game is a little bit different. And you have to be able to adapt to the game and be able to play football in different ways. You have to earn your right to play on the pitch. We're going to be ready for that. I hope so. Listen, they're missing Gallagher. I don't want to talk about players that have nothing to do with Palace at this moment in time. It's very disrespectful. If I was Crystal Palace, I would see, you know what, fuck Conor Gallagher. I want the fans, whether that's the Corey, whoever, to know that I'm better than him or I'm 30. So we'll have to see. You know, we all know preseason form was good and hopefully we pick up. I'm not going to read that. On whether top four is the target. Yes, of course, it's a big thing for us. It was last year as well. Towards the end, we had it in our hands and then we lost it. That was a hard one for us. Everyone was really disappointed and frustrated with how we ended the season. I think you will see a hungry and ready Arsenal team to come back and do it this year. That's where the club should be and that's the goal. I hope so. When speaking about winning mentality in the dressing room, I think it's important. It's always an area to improve for everyone. You can always be better in that way. As I said, they have that experience and hopefully they can share with us what it takes to win in this country. That's where we want to be as a team, to fight for trophies, titles, be at the top. That's where the club should be. That's where we want to get to, people. So, yeah, obviously he's previously spoken on, and everyone has spoken on Gabriel, Jesus and Zinchenko settling in, and obviously Saliba into that mix now as well. On feeling pressure, I don't feel any special pressure with it. Obviously, there's a little bit more responsibility in relation to the captaincy, but I think I will do a lot of the same things. I always try to do my best for the team. I'm not going to change too much just because it's a permanent thing now. I will do the same things. And obviously, when he wants me to be the captain, I've done something right. So keep going in that direction. Maybe learn and grow a bit with time, but I have to do it in my way. That's what I will try to do. I enjoy the responsibility and hopefully I can do it in a good way. Big up you. You know, obviously he said it's a big honor of being captain and all of those sort of things. Shout out Martin Odegaard. Saliba reaping benefits of Marseille loan. Careful, you know, everyone in their nan, you know, was very critical on, oh, he can't go on loan, blah, blah, blah. 176 likes there, people. Keep running that up, people. What has he said? I'm really happy with how he's adapted. Obviously, it's always something that you have to see. Spending a year away from here in a completely different league, but playing the amount of minutes that he played and the way you could see he was growing and developing, he's gave us a lot of reasons that he could be the player we need. In the last few weeks, he's given us every reason to believe that he's made the right decision loaning him for a year because he now looks ready to go. Careful, you know, people were chatting shit. Going all the way. In our opinion, it's not just my opinion, he needed that exposure, true, and a healthy place of making mistakes and not necessarily being dropped. You don't see players at 18, 19 years of age playing at the highest level at top clubs. It just doesn't happen unless you're the Pedris, the Fodens, the Sakas, and, you know, these sort of Dons, Hudson-Odoi, lol, and these sort of things. We as a club a few years ago made a big investment because we believed he could be a player who could make a significant impact in our team. And he's at 21, while he's significantly more confident, experienced. He's not the finished article. No one that in the defenses, you know, which is true. And we believe, a player who can make a significant impact in our team. We believe, again, that the best way to do it is to give him a pathway that we couldn't give him here, especially because we didn't have Europe, so he wouldn't play so many minutes or very few minutes. And we also spent 50 million on Ben White. Now we have a very different context, and hopefully that will prove that for him and for the club, it is in the right direction. He said, we don't know because maybe he would have picked up an injury. Maybe he wouldn't play. Maybe we could have sent him on loan and it didn't work. He could have picked up an injury like he did in the first loan that we had. That's football. It's so complicated. But we believed and he believed that was the right thing to do. And we worked together. And that was the most important thing. Now we are together and the relationship continues. So, yeah, sign that new deal, my broski. Not just you, Martinelli and them and there as well. And yeah, is what it is. Mikel Arteta confident, ready to go to a new level with signings. We are ready to go to a different level, and I am convinced of that. What the other teams are doing is so obvious. Others had already had a much stronger squad than we had. They still recruited 4 or 5, or some of them 7 players. This is not going to get any easier, so we can just focus on what we are trying to do, what we can do, because we cannot do everything at the same time. We are confident that we are going to be able to do it. Yes, and that was the aim. Those players have been inspired by top players, top professionals, ruthless winners for many years, and they were looking at them. Now it's their turn to do the same and inspire those younger players that we have in our squad to do the same, to show them what it takes to win and the level of detail, hunger, and dedication that you need to keep winning. Fair enough, man. That's the same comments in relation to Saliba. So, yeah, man. Patrick Vieira said they're still short of numbers as well, people. So that could be beneficial. As a manager, you always want more. So far, I've been really happy with the numbers we've managed to bring in. Obviously, we are short on numbers, but we still have a few weeks until the end of the market. We had a really good season, and what was important for us and for me as a manager is to try to keep that stability was to try to keep that. Where is that? Where have I gone now? I've lost myself. That stability that will help us to grow as a team and try to improve the squad. A couple of players came in, and that will give us more challenges because what we want is for players to make it really difficult for me to choose the starting 11. Squad wise, we're a little bit short, but like I said earlier on, I believe that we can be even more competitive than we was last year. And as you know, Vieira took 4 points off us last year, people. It will be a completely different game with the new players they have in the squad. They're a better team. They had really good games during pre-season. We know that's going to be difficult, challenging, but I believe we have the tools to make it difficult for them, people. 187, you lot are flirting with transfer news, people. So yeah, keep it going. But yeah, that was a long one. But that's that in it, people, in relation to Mikel Arteta and goal. Odegaard on captaincy. To a press conference. Reaction. Shout out to you lot, people. That's that. Yeah. 400 people watching. Need 300 likes. Come on, people. I hear that. Saliba, Martinelli will all get 100 bags each. Good job. We are lowering the wage bill to soak up this needed expense. I hear that. You should set up a deluded FPL league. Respectfully, it's like people don't listen. I have that, bro. There's the link. There's the code. There we, I've already got something pinned to the pin message, but there you have it, people. There's that. Better late than never. Last season we were carded a lot. I hope the discipline is sorted. I hear that. I can't lie, it's half scarf settings for me. Oh, don't be one of them. Shout out Palace though. I get it, you know, Ian Wright, Derby and things, but don't be one of them, man. There. Don't be one of them, man. There. Would you buy Our and load him out if we get Telemans? I was a big man, you know. He's in his mid-20s. Big man for that loading out stuff. Nah, bro, you have to stay. Yeah, I have seen that Tierney interview, man. We kind of reacted to it yesterday. Big bollocks from Tierney and Cole and anyone who speaks about mental health, man or woman, especially, I would say men. And for my reality, not saying men in general, men suffer in silence quite a lot. And men that have gone army, today's society, social pressures and stuff. But speaking from my own reality, I would say if you was to look at men, I think young black men or black men in general are less likely to go therapy and talk about their problems and stuff than an Indian man or a white man or any other domination. So anyone that talks, especially athletes where it's high testosterone environments, it's lovely to see, man. Speaking don't make you any less of a man. So I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know it's easier said than done. But chat, people. Even if you have to chat to yourself, I chat to myself all the time. I might sound crazy shit. I probably am, man. Chasing your goals will make you that. When's the transfer deadline? Isn't it the 1st of September? I could be wrong. But isn't it that? What's your score prediction? 3-1, man. DG, I'm still waiting for that 30 midfielder. You and me as well, bro. We are still a Partey injury away from problem beginning. We're going to have to play. If Partey gets injured, we're going to have to play a completely different way unless El Nene or Lokonga steps in. It's going to have to be full-time Wenger ball in. It is what it is. Saliba was getting bigged up by Arteta in the press conference. You're right. And he's taking his chances. You know, you've been given a platform, take them. There is going to be bad games. He is going to have shaky games. He is still learning at 21. Look at him during the February period in Marseille. But what he has returned is a French international, won a couple of individual awards, you know, and more confident and more experienced one. And at 21, you know, him, Ben White, Gabriel, they're still going to do dumb shit. I keep saying it. There are going to be many great games. There's going to be games where they're not marking or they've switched off from set pieces. That's actually something I think Saliba needs to improve at. You know, Saka had a good season in terms of goal scoring. There was many a chance where he should have scored. I look at Southampton, not just in Martinelli as well. Martinelli, you know, scored 6 goals, could do a lot better, but he done well last year. He missed an open goal against City. You know, young strikers are going to miss. Eddie as well. Jesus potentially who's 25 and you got a bit more expectation on him. But you have to, when you're doing this youngster thing, I'm not using it as an excuse. And by damn, we've made our bed, we have to lie in it. That's something you have to factor in, that these guys are going to go through good and bad moments of form. And sometimes just do some stupid shit that's unexplainable. Tavares the same. Happy he's over in France making them mistakes there. Big up Tavares. We have a chance to get the best start to a season in a long time. Shout out TP. What a name. Look at our first 5 fixtures. Palace is the most tricky one for me. I just want us to get to the United game with points in the bag. Amen. Shout out Kevin. Yo, DG, bless up to you and the whole Gunners Nation. May we have the blessed season we're predicting. Amen, man. Amen. Amen. Amen, my bro. I don't know why I gave Hudson-Odoi that stray. He doesn't deserve that, blood. Hudson-Odoi, if you're watching, come jump on this interview thing, man. I ain't done an interview in a while, man. Does Gabriel start centre half tonight, DG? Who else you got in mind, my guy? Should add a command for FPL. Where's Tito or somewhere? Where's my analytical done, man? How did you get started as an analyst? I'm looking to start as well one day. I don't know. I'm not an analyst. I'm not there, bro. DG, those Saliba comments are nonsense. He showed he was decent on loan for 2 years. Nah, I don't think they're nonsense. I've always maintained with the joke dons that were here, Saliba could have got chances, but I did think all variables made sense. There was every logic with sending him out on loan. I would have loved for him to go Prem. He didn't want it. There's every logic. I think he could have stayed here and developed. I do hear where you're coming from. But yeah, man, you know, Nice, back to St. Etienne, Marseille, he's done his thing, really. He's still only 21, though. Are you going to do top 4 predictions? I don't know about that, man. Kanzinchenko standing for part. Bro, if you're not going to bring in El Nene or Lokonga, who even Lokonga's you was at 8 in preseason, so really El Nene, you just got to, and Tellerman's not there, you just got to switch up the way we're playing, innit? We just got to try to do the passing thing. Side questions, DG. Shout all the members of the channel, people. Appreciate that. But have you heard the Leeds owner speaking on the Rafinha deal? Very interesting. Yeah, I saw them on the Athletic, but it's so long, man. You know, he said himself, we made the deal with Chelsea because the player wanted to go, and he was open to listening to offers from other Premier League clubs. But unfortunately, Chelsea was his favourable option in the Champions League. Spurs could offer it them. They ain't got the juice. You know, we'll never know how close he wasn't going to Arsenal. But unfortunately, let's say Barcelona's influences convinced the player to wait until they found the solution. This shows again the power and leverage players and their agents have in the system, which for me is exaggerated too much. No, it's not. If anything, I prefer the players. The players are the product. Clubs have too much power. Clubs do fuckery, especially with young players. There's a certain young player at a certain London club who is not going out on loan. He's already bossed under 23s football. He is not going out on loan until he signs a new deal. They are saying you are not going out on loan until you sign a new deal. Forget all of that. If anything, the players should have the power. Half the time, bro, I'd rather you record Rafinha, who's come from humble beginnings, than all these money men that own clubs and got a nice little villa in Barbados and all these things. Forget all of that. You know, clubs don't give a crap about these players, bro. Forget all of that. I'd rather the players have it. I don't know about that, but he said, which for me is exaggerated too much. We do a lot of investment to build clubs. We invest hundreds of millions, but all the power it seems to be with agents and reps of these players. Because if it was just with you lot, you wouldn't pay these players what they're worth, and you would have these players doing BS. Do I think players can do too much? Agents can do too much. Clubs can do too much. Everybody's got dirty hands saying, look at the other ones. It's not making sense. There's no honor among thieves. All you lot are thieves. The only ones that bear the brunt of it are the fans because of the emotional leverage. But yeah, that's what he said, man. And then he did kind of speak about why Rafinha went and all of these sort of things, people, and all of that. But, you know, we all knew he was going to cut out from Leeds. So, gives a crap about that, man. It is what it is, really.